Hello, ladies and gentlemen of YouTube, and welcome back to A Hat in Time with me, Sam, and you. We're doing some harder achievements this episode, going through the ones that haven't been done thus far and are not hard enough to merit their own video. So without any further fanfare, let's get right into it. Okay, we're starting off with, personally, I prefer the air. This achievement requires you to do 5 jumping attacks without touching the ground, like this, essentially. The easiest place to do it is this place that I've selected, just outside the lava cake, and as you can see, we've gone well past 5. I think we've got 6 or 7 there, so easy way to do the achievement. On to the next one. The floor is lava. This one involves actually doing the lava cake without touching any of the lava. Now, to my knowledge, I think you can take damage from other sources, but, I mean, in this run through, we're not going to take damage from anything. The main idea is to just stay away from the lava. Now, in reality, you probably shouldn't take that many risks of going for this achievement. Like, as you can see, I am foolishly just skipping entire platforms, and it looks horrendously risky. Like, you can see that one's starting to go down as I jump on it, but I do it anyway because I'm an idiot. See, look at me go for that one. Like, that one should have clearly gone down. My advice to you, if you're doing this yourself, is to just take your time and really focus on what you're doing, because the more you rush it, the more chance you have of fucking up. Fortunately, I love the sprint hat, and moving fast like this is something I find easy. That, and I've had a lot of practice, so there's that as well. This is where you can see I start to take myself, take it a bit slower, and then balls to the wall, eh? Here we go. So for this one, I mostly just use the sprint hat. In fact, I think I entirely use the sprint hat. Save for maybe the Dweller Mask at the end, I can't quite remember. But from my memory, it seems to just be the sprint hat. It's my favourite hat in the game, and I honestly can't recommend it enough. You'll also need the grappling badge for this, but obviously you should already have the grappling badge to get to the lava cake anyway. So there's that. Here we go. Near the end now. So it's quite a short run, really, but I mean, it can take you quite a while if you don't skip the bits that I skipped. But obviously, it's better that it takes you a while and you get the achievement as opposed to trying to rush it and messing up a lot. And there we go. That is the lava cake. The floor is lava done. What's next? This is going to be Secret Intruder. So the idea behind this one is you have to make it through Deadbird's studio without being detected. Now, that does include the harassment. So if you get the minus 500 points for harassment, that counts as you being detected, I think. So you really don't want to get detected at all. If you don't get the minus 500, like owl harassment or penguin harassment, you should be alright. Because there is a bit where I think I trigger a dude, but I don't get the fine, so that should be okay. It only matters if you get the fine. The time hat, I think, helps a lot in this particular level, as does the sprint hat, obviously. But yeah, the time hat I sort of use to slow down time occasionally. Like there, you saw me use it, and I'll use it if I'm sneaking around like that. For the most part, sprint hat is the way to go, as always. So here we go. Again, the key here is to sort of take it slowly, figure out the owl's patterns. You're not going to do it on your first attempt. It took me several attempts to do it. But if you get the patterns down, you'll get there in the end. Another big point is like knowing what comes next, so knowing the level inside and out. That'll help as well. So yeah, I use the sprint hat for the electronic bit. You could use the time hat, but I choose the sprint because, you know, for some reason I've got this huge boner for the sprint hat. Perfect. Back to the time stop hats. I think this is the bit, in fact, where someone looks like he's been alerted, but I don't actually get the fine. In theory, that should be okay. If not, I mean, tough luck, you just got to restart. But I think I get away. Yeah, see? Because I don't get the fine. Here we go, and you're through. Now this bit can be a little bit fiddly, actually. because there's 2 owls who are sort of walking around there, and there's an owl on the higher level sort of waiting as well. So what I do is I wait for the owl to turn on the lower level and run. That should mean he's up there facing that way, and we sneak behind him like that. And that's the gist of how you do that bit. That's probably one of the trickier bits. But again, all I can say is take your time, and it'll make this so much easier. And that's it. You're through all of the penguins then. You just got to go and do the end cutscene with DJ Grooves and the conductor, and you're sorted. Right, here we go. Encore. This is a horrible achievement to get. I hate this one. I hate it so much. So the idea behind Encore is that you don't fall into the audience at all. You can take damage from whatever, the owl band or just the phone wires or whatever, but you cannot fall in the audience. And the number of times that I was trying to do this achievement, and I'd get to like the bit where the timepieces dropped, and then the owls would knock me into the audience was ridiculous. But we got there in the end. So what you can see here is I'm running around a sort of a set few number of buildings, and I'm calling this the Sam route, because all of the buildings are close enough together that you can make it fairly easily with a couple of jumps. Like here, this is the hardest jump in the whole route. And as you can see, it's killed half of the time for this phase already, which is what you want. You want to be killing the time easily. So I just do the Sam route. It takes you past a couple of the little buttons, but the hardest button I think to get to is off the Sam route, which is a bit of a problem. But that's where we're going to head this time. So the Sam route this time, we're not going to finish. We're going to keep on going forwards to that tile down there that bounces you up. Skip through the cutscene. So that tile there that'll spring us up, because this is, in my opinion, the hardest to get to one, because it's not accessible. So you see we got hit there, but because we didn't go into the audience, we're fine for the achievement. Then we're going to reverse the Sam route so that we can get to this button. And we're just going to keep going in the reverse of the Sam route to get to the last button. And it's in your best interest to do this as quickly as you can, but ultimately, like, don't take risks where you could just do it easily and take your time, is my advice. Again, a lot of these achievements today are just about sort of like taking your time and thinking things through. And another good piece of advice I would give is take breaks if you're struggling and come back. Like, maybe try and do a different achievement and come back later, because Christ, like, I spent a solid hour trying to record this achievement. It took me 10 minutes to do it the first time round. It took me like a solid hour to do it this time round. So, you know, there we go. And that's because I didn't take any breaks. And you just get more and more frustrated. So I made the mistake there of deviating from the Sam route. Now, I think that was because the building rooftop was on fire, and I'm of the mindset that those wires are the worst things to go on because they're so difficult to land on. For me, anyway. So I would advise against it, but I did it because for some reason I am a complete nutter. Anyway, we're back to the Sam route now. Just an easy route, all the buildings close together, as we said, and, you know, we're not going to fall in. Now, I think this phase, for some reason, lasts a lot longer than the previous phase and the later phase. But it's nearly done. Once again, I've deviated from the Sam route. Skip that. And now it's time to activate the fireworks. Now, I got really unlucky with the placements of the firework machines, because this guy is right over the wires. I got him, and then that happened. So I had to use the bounce to try and get over to the big building. That was unfortunate. It was not ideal, but we did it. And then I'm going back the way we came. That was risky as well, because I could have mushed into the owls in midair, and that would have been GG. So... But I mean, at this point, you've got so much going on your screen. Like, you've got the fireworks coming at you. You've got occasional rooftops lighting up. You've got the owls chasing you. it's incredibly hard. This achievement is very, very hard. And here we go, we're off the SAM route again already because that one building just fucks with my routine. But ultimately, find a route that you're comfortable with, that you can do well. For me, the SAM route, as I showed you, was how I ended up doing it. But you may have a different route, a better route. It's completely personal preference. So now we're back on the SAM route for the final couple of bits. But the timepiece is about to drop. And so we want to get there as quickly as we can. But what you gotta not make the mistake of is rushing to the end because the timepiece is there and you want this hell to be over. You've got to keep your focus up, essentially. Fortunately, I was able to do this for like the 17th time, and we actually managed to do the level and get the achievement. There we go. Then there's some lovely credits that tell us how badly we did because we were not focusing on the actual game and we were just dicking around with the level. Here we go, Afraid of Water. So this is in the subcon well. You want to start on the actual plug so that you're really not touching the water, and then get blasted up with a jump and just dive over. And it's pretty self-explanatory really, this one. You just progress as you would normally, but you just don't fall off. I mean, realistically, you probably should have this one already, but on the off chance you don't, just do as I do, you know? You just walk up, just follow the route, and just don't fall, and then you won't go in the water. It's pretty easy. It's essentially just a jumping puzzle. But you do have to watch out for those things. If you don't see them coming and they hit you, you will fall, you will die, you'll mess up the achievement, and you'll have to start again. But the thing is, the water doesn't rise, it like rises with your progress, so you don't have to worry about running out of time or something. That shouldn't happen. So it's just a matter of you sort of getting to the top at your own pace without making any mistakes, which is pretty easy because it's quite a short run. Then you're there, that's the end of the level, and that's the end of the achievements. So that's it for this episode then, guys. I hope you enjoyed and I hope this helped, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye!